Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So I want to tell everybody thank you so much. You don't have any idea how this platform has touched me, touched my heart. It's part of my healing process to share with all of you and to hopefully help you heal as well along the way. So thank you. Without you, I would really be a little bit on the stuck side to continue my healing. Without you, there's no reason why I should be here talking about anything. So this great collective that I have, that God has graced us to come together. So let's thank God. It's God's grace, it's God's mercy, it's God's love. It's God's will, and it's God's protection and guidance that we call upon Him today to be with us on this reading, okay? So, let me tell you what Guadalupe's like today. It's not as cold as it has been. However, it's still overcast. And it usually breaks up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the sun's out for a couple hours, and then it's back to the fog rolling in. And that's not always, but it's like this is the time or the season, I guess. But after being here since December 2020, I'm still not used to it, okay? To me, it's very cold. So I imagine when I was a youngster, I was too busy running around, like bike riding, hanging out with my cousins. We would go for walks down to Leroy Park. We would go to Grandma's house. We were always doing something. So maybe being younger, you just don't feel the cold, right? We used to even go down to the ocean. It's the undertow is the only way I can compare it is to Hawaii. I lived there for 13 years, and Sandy Beach, the beach that that was his grow up spot, I guess. But the undertow there is really bad. So it has to be seasoned people who actually go into that ocean there at Sandy Beach, and they ride the waves or do whatever. But Guadalupe's undertow is just as bad, and there's actually less people going out into that water. And might have to do with the weather, because the water is very cold. So if it's like 60 degrees out, I would say the water temperature is like 70, I guess. I don't really know, but it's pretty cold. Okay, so let's begin by reading out of the Bible, right? That's how we do it. And I love reading out of Psalms. So Psalm 69, for the director of music to the tune of Lilies of David. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the myriad depths where there's no foothold. I have come into the deep waters. The floods engulf me. I am worn out calling for help. My throat is parched. My eyes fail, looking for my God. Those who hate me without reason outnumber the hairs of my head. Many are my enemies without cause, those who seek to destroy me. I am forced to restore what I did not steal. You know my folly, O God. My guilt is not hidden from you. May those who hope in you not be disgraced because of me, O Lord, the Lord Almighty. May those who seek you not be put to shame because of me, O God of Israel, for I endure scorn for your sake, and shame covers my face. I am a stranger to my brothers, an alien to my own mother's sons. For zeal for your house consumes me, and the insults of those who insult you fall on me. When I weep and fast, I must endure scorn. When I put on sackcloth, people make sport of me. Those who sit at the gate mock me, and I am the song of drunkards. But I pray to you, O Lord, in the time of your favor. In your great love, O God, answer me with your sure salvation. Rescue me from the mire. Do not let me sink. Deliver me from those who hate me, from the deep waters. Do not let the flood waters engulf me, or the depths swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. Answer me, O Lord, out of the goodness of your love. In your great mercy, turn to me. Do not hide your face from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in trouble. Come near and rescue me. Redeem me because of my foes. You know how I am scorned, disgraced, and shamed. All my enemies are before you. Scorn has broken my heart and has left me helpless. I looked for sympathy, but there was none. For comforters, but I found none. They put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst. May the table set before them become a snare. May it become retribution and a trap. May their eyes be darkened so they cannot see, and their backs be bent forever. Pour out your wrath on them. Let your fierce anger overtake them. May their place be deserted. Let there be no one to dwell in their tents, for they persecute those you wound, and talk about the pain of those you hurt. Charge them with crime upon crime. Do not let them share in your salvation. May they be blotted out of the book of life and not be listed with the righteous. I am in pain and distress. May your salvation, O God, protect me. I will praise God's name in song and glorify him with thanksgiving. This will please the Lord more than an ox, more than a bull with its horns and hoofs. The poor will see and be glad. You who seek God, may your hearts live. The Lord hears the needy and does not despise the captive people. Let heaven and earth praise him, the seas and all that move in them. For God will save Zion and rebuild the cities of Judah. Then people will settle there and possess it. The children of his servants will inherit it, and those who love his name will dwell there. So that was the whole book of Psalm 69. And wow, I'll tell you that that actually really resonates with me a lot. You know, it's like ostracized is my middle name. And you know, I'm just me. I'm just I try to be myself. I don't entertain you know, all the gossip and that sort of things, the things people say when they're insecure about themselves, how they put it out and place their insecurities on other people. You know, they're hurt people hurting people. You know, are we supposed to turn the other cheek? Or are we supposed to ask God to serve them what they serve others? You know, in the end, it's always God's decision, right? At the same time, when I tell you, yes, I ask God to show me some retribution. Whatever God decides is someone's fate because of how they treat other people. That's between them and God. What's between me and God is the fact that, I haven't always been innocent, okay? I was born innocent. I grew up. I had 4 sisters and 4 brothers older than me. I had my mom who was so weak from having so many children. I had my dad who at times worked 3 jobs just to put food on the table for everybody. And my mom wanted the kids to be kids and my dad wanted them to grow up. So my mom never forced the issues. She just said, hey, Dad said to do this. And then she'd go in her bedroom and just hope for the best. She wasn't going to spend extra energy trying to force her kids to do something that they know they should have done. And the whole respect thing, I think, really is that my mom, I love my dad and everything, don't get me wrong, but love is love. And, I believe my dad loved as much as he could, which really wasn't much. And, it made the whole family suffer because he wasn't always there. Like I said, he worked 3 jobs sometimes just to put food on the table, and all he wanted in return was, the respect of his children to do as he asked them to do. And he would come home and it wouldn't be done, and he'd get upset and the whole house would be turned upside down. And sometimes hurt people. And then the younger ones, which would be like me and my brother, we would see all of this going on, and it made us fear making Dad angry. It made us fear just being able to speak freely sometimes, because when your dad's like a raving maniac and he's yelling and screaming and throwing things, all you could think about is, I don't ever want that to be me. So, knowing this and knowing that the chains have to be broken, the generational curse that he carried through to our family, thank God I had my mom's side of the family. But still, it's my dad. I'm always going to love him. And I'm sure he knows that speaking the truth is the only way to go. So, am I happy that he went out and he killed someone? No, I'm not. I tell the story because, well, if people didn't know that my dad killed someone, and I carry myself a certain way, why is she carrying herself a certain way? How can she carry herself a certain way knowing that her father did this? It's by God's grace. All the prayers that my grandmother did for all of us. We all grow up. We all have to learn lessons. We think we're grown up when we're 18. We're just beginning to be grown up. We don't really know much about life until like 10 years later. We've lived 10 years from 18 to 28, trying to struggle, trying to live on our own, trying to make ends meet. Some people carry it on and they actually never grow up. And, fortunately, those could be the people that are on the street. They could be the people that still live with their parents because they can't afford to live on their own. And here in the state of California, people really can't afford to live on their own. A 1-bedroom goes for like $2,000. In Hawaii, you can get a 1-bedroom for like $1,500. And that's water, trash, sewage. The only thing you got to pay for is electricity, because, you know, or gas, electricity and gas. Sometimes it's all combined in. So, you know, California's just way outpriced, and there's so many people on the street. They lose their jobs, or they get divorced. So many reasons why there's people on the street. So I try to never judge them. All I try to do is think about, well, is there something that I could give them? And it's not even about scoring brownie points with all of you. It's about, that's what's in my heart. I know how it feels to have your heart like really broken. I just thank God that I never had to endure what they must have to endure. So be more kind out there, people. You know, God has that piggy bank with your name on it up there in heaven. And every time you do good, you know, it gets you that closer to God, right? And if it's overflowing, if you're praying for your children and your grandchildren and the generations to come, God is going to hear those prayers. And he's going to appreciate the fact that, you know, you're obviously not a selfish person, because you're not just praying for yourself. You're praying for others. And I believe that even puts you in a better position. You know, and it's, again, it's not about trying to, you know, to wiggle your way into heaven, because you can't do that. God knows your heart. You know, that would be like, say like, somebody who has the ability to make something big happen, right? Maybe it's their position at their work. Maybe it's the money that they got by asking for donations. You know, it takes a lot of work to ask people for donations. I'm not talking about like, here, you guys do what you want. I'm talking about being, okay, like for me, when I worked a regular 9-to-5 job, whatever, sometimes I had to work weekends, sometimes I didn't. Regardless, when one of our co-workers would be pregnant, I would go buy a card and I would go pass it around. You know, I would see people that I knew made, you know, say back in the day, around 2000, I knew they were making 30,000 a year or 40,000 a year. Some of them were making 60,000 a year or more. But some of those people wouldn't even drop $1 into the card, you know. And, you know, I can't judge them. They have a choice to do it. But to bring togetherness together, you know. And I always kept up with how much money, you know. I would tell people, oh, wow, you know, we collected $50 all today. And I'm going to keep trying until Friday. And then, like, at the end of each day, I would tell them, oh, we collected this amount. And then, you know, some of the ladies would want to shop for them, or some of them would want to just give them money. I just say give them money. They can buy what they want. They can buy what they need. But, you know, if the ladies wanted to go shopping, I'd hand the money over, and then they'd go out and buy, and they'd wrap them and stuff. And then on break, you know, lunch break, they'd present it to the pregnant woman, right? And it just made everybody just feel more together. So, I've always been one to ask. I'm not afraid to ask. My dad always said, you never know unless you ask. And I can't tell you that I've always been afraid to ask. That's not really true, but if my dad told me to go do something like that, I would just go, because, you know, it's like he gave me the power to do it because he told me to do it. But it's just a great way to revive people's spirit of hope, right? Of yeah, there's actually love in this world. these people barely know me. I just got hired, you know, a year ago, and I ended up getting pregnant. Look what these people came and did for me. And it's by God's grace that we share love in the world. So those parables about being ostracized, that it's about when I speak of God, then people turn their back on me. And I don't even fret about that. I stand in my power. I stand in the power of God within me. And I say, oh, that's how you feel? Well, just stay over there then. You don't have to hear me. If what I'm saying is bothering you, just go that way. Because I'm going to speak how I want to speak. And, you know, it reminds me of my grandma, you know. Every time someone came in the house, you know, they always made their way to the bedroom because that's where my grandma primarily stayed. She was a crippled little woman. You know, she had a little potty thing. My sister used to have to swing her private parts over and then clean her up and then whatever, clean the little bucket out. And, of course, you know, it's a private thing, so of course all the people visiting didn't have to see that. I'm just saying she was always in her bedroom. But they always made their way back because that's where Grandma was. And they could only stay for a couple of minutes because Grandma would start preaching to them. I always just sat on the floor and listened to Grandma. Sometimes she had a little angry in her voice, but it wasn't hate anger. It was understand me anger. Understand what I'm trying to get across to you. Understand that one day I'm not going to be here. And right now I'm praying for you. You should appreciate it and not shun it. So, you know, when I was little, I don't know if you heard me from another reading because I do repeat myself. And it's important too because I don't know if you're just starting to view me. I don't know if you've watched all my videos. And if you have, then maybe someone hasn't. But when I was little, my grandma, a crippled little lady, we called her Grandma with the little fingers because she probably only weighed like 85 pounds when she passed away. But her normal, she was a small-framed woman. She got crippled, and her body just shrunk, okay? But, so her fingers were like that size. The bones had shrunk all the way down. And her skin, you know, her skin was kind of looking like a little fat right there because it shrunk down, right? So, she always sat up straight. I remember, like, I didn't know anything about arthritis or anything. I knew it was arthritis and that it crippled her. I didn't know anything else, but years later, thinking back, she always sat straight up. Her shoulders were back, her head was upright, you know. She never bent her head forward unless she was praying. All the other times she'd be looking at me and she'd be sitting straight up. Her back was just like perfectly square, straight up. And I walked up on her. I got real close to her about, well, my skin would have touched her skin about an inch away. That's how close I got to her face. And I was like, Grandma, your eyes are so pretty. They were like bluish, grayish, you know, because sometimes Asian people, their eyes turn gray or blue when they get really old. And I looked in her eyes and all I saw was like, it's like looking into heaven in her eyes. Hold on a second. Tombo. Uh-oh. Are you okay? You want to go outside? Come on. You want to go outside? It's okay. Why are you choking? You all right? I'm not sure what was happening to him, but he didn't actually throw up or anything. He was just gagging a little. But I looked in my grandma's eyes and I was like, all I could see is like peace. I saw peace in her eyes. I saw love in her eyes. I saw like heaven in her eyes. And I was telling her, Grandma, you have hardly no wrinkles. Your eyes are so beautiful. Your skin's so soft. Your hair's so beautiful. She was a Pentecostal, so, they don't believe in cutting your hair or anything. Her hair was all the way down to her bottom, and it was like a little bit angled on the back. And her hair was like silvery, white, gray. It was just really pretty. She had a little wave in it, so it wasn't like just dead on straight. And I just told her, that she was so beautiful. And she just smiled. And in my mind I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like Grandma. I said, in my mind I said, except the crippled part. Well, I'll be 62 this year. I haven't shrunk an inch. Everyone in my family has shrunk, but not me. I don't think I'm going to shrink. I think God's going to let me be 5'2.5" my whole life. And I think God's going to bless me, with all the things that I need like He has in the past. And I'm going to give Him all the glory. I'm going to give Him all the respect. I'm going to give and show the love that He's given and shown to me, to all of you. And as you ascend, as you start believing in yourself, as you start forgiving yourself for the things that you know that you did wrong, God already knows your heart. He already knows your destiny. There will be forks in the road. Oh, child, whatever, son or daughter, are going to put a path in front of you. You can go the sunny way or you can go the dark way. And you have your free will. If you tell God you want your will to be His will, I'm sure He's still going to test you. But by your faith, you should choose the sunny way, right? There's these parables about having a couple forks in the road, and if you always take the sunny path, you might miss something in the dark. For me, if I know the sunny path leads, and I'm going to take that one. What is for me is going to be for me. I don't really have to go down those dark paths anymore, because I choose my will to be God's will. And no one, the funny thing is people want me to be quiet. People don't want me to talk about God. People don't want to talk. They don't want me to talk to people and tell them how He's changed my life. And if they don't like me talking about God in such a good, loving way, hello, newsflash, they're not awake, or they're haters. You gotta put them where they go. And if you allow those to be in your life, say they're not awake yet, and you try to talk to them and you try to wake them up, and they're just not ready. You have to give them time to live life. You have to give them time to learn their own lessons. Doesn't mean you just toss them to the side and say, you're out of my life, right? Now there's the haters, right? The haters, they have been hurt. They never got their healing. They held on to all the hurt. You can still love them, but you have to love them from a distance for your own self, because haters are people who are hurt. they will just keep trying to hurt you, because if you're elevating beyond where they're at, automatically they think, oh, look how Marsha's acting right now. She thinks she's better than everybody else, which is farthest from the truth. I know that I've made mistakes. I know that I'm not perfect. It's only by God's grace did I wake up this morning. It's only by God's grace that I have food in the refrigerator. It's only by God's grace that my dog, I was able to heal him without taking him to the vet. And, you know, I was supplied with the right medicines at the right time to heal him. Do I get the glory because my dog's still with me? Of course not. I give that glory to God. So always be thankful. That's the first thing. Show gratitude for your life. Show gratitude for having hot water to take a shower. Show gratitude for having a wife that cooks you some meals. Maybe all the meals don't taste that good, and maybe every meal is perfect. I don't know. But whatever's supplied to you, you know, when it's made with love, right? She's doing it because she loves you. That's one more reason for you to appreciate life. And by appreciating her efforts, you know, you just eat your food and you say thank you. I feel like I have plenty now. Thank you. You know, and your children. Always try to have love on the forefront, you know, with your kids. And I say that because, you know, there were some things that happened between me and my daughter. You know, she's 28 now. She's like, Mom, you know, I always felt like you nurtured me and you cared for me and you loved me. She's like, but sometimes I saw that other side. I said, yeah, I know. I said, it's like I see some mothers discipline their kids and their tone of voice kind of stays the same, yet they have that authority in their voice when they're trying to, you know, rear their kids in the right way. Mine was like an angry maniac, you know. I mean, I have swatted her. I have threatened her with the belt. I had given her like a good spanking, not a beating, but a good spanking. And it's only like 1 or 2 swats. But it was my spirit that changed, right? Always good and loving, and all of a sudden something set me off, and it was just like the other side of me took over. And it was a side that she didn't recognize. She recognized it as, that's not really my mom. You know, like, my mom is so loving and so kind. Like, how can she just turn like that? And I tried to explain it, well, you know, that's kind of how I was raised, you know. And she's like, Mom, you know, just because it happened to you doesn't mean that you should have been that way with me. And I was like, I know. You're right. You're totally right. I shouldn't have had my emotions from what her father was doing interfere with how I reared her. So none of us are perfect. Even if we say, I am a child of God, it doesn't put us to tell others I'm better than you because I claim that I'm a child of God. The one moment that you say, I'm above all of you, in a way that raises you on a pedestal. God doesn't really want you on a pedestal to look down on other people. He wants you to have the power to say your piece to the people, right? Those people that hate you. Those people that are hurt, so they hurt you. You just say, yes, I'm practicing my spiritual healing, you know. And if you don't want to believe, if you don't want to hear, just go that way then. I'm not going to stop talking. I'm not going to let you shut me up, because I know the devil doesn't want me to speak, right? The more the devil tells me no, the more that God comes within me and says, keep going. Keep doing your work. Okay? So, those scriptures meant a lot to me today, and they're just random pulls. It's like there's obviously good and bad, and it's a serious, it's a clear separation. What side do you want to be on? You know, it's not my job to judge you if you decide that you want to be, you know, do you want to be the first part or the second part of each parable? One is good and one is bad. It's your choice how you want to live your life. And obviously, you're searching, so you must want this life with God by you, near you, in you. Okay? And then you're trying to figure out the other people around you. How am I going to be around these other people? You're going to have to stand up and say, hey, you know, this is what I believe. And you can believe what you want. I'm not judging you, so don't judge me. And even a statement like that could put up walls, because they don't want you to stand up for yourself. They want you to submit to how they feel. You should feel how they feel. Life might have been the way when you were like 10 years ago. Oh, okay, my older brother says this. I gotta not worry about what grandma says. I gotta worry about what they say. I gotta live under their roof. I have to follow their rules. And I'm not saying that ever happened for me. I mean, I had to follow each person I lived with. I had to follow their rules, but not any time did they try to say, you know, don't listen to grandma or anything like that. That was just a what if kind of thing. So anyways, I'm sorry to tuck your ear out. Someone needed to hear that. We got to just keep it going. We got to keep plugging along. We got to keep praising God. We got to keep thanking Him for everything good in our life. And I mean, the bad is probably a blessing in disguise. So if you're going through a bad thing right now, if you view it as, well, I'm going through this right at this moment because there must be a blessing in here somewhere. Not yet has God revealed it to me. I'm sure in time it will be revealed why I'm going through this terrible thing at the moment, okay? So miracles now. And we have. When I've overshared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? Was I oversharing? I mean, I had no idea that card was going to say that. I'm talking because I want to tell you a story that might help you in the future, or it might be something you're going through now. And how do I still hold on to my spirituality? How do I tell a Christian that I believe in Spirit, in God, Creator, Heavenly Father? I don't have to go to church because you go to church. That's your choice, okay? So everybody's different, okay? If you feel like I've overshared, please put it in the comments. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, next we have the message from the mermaids. Turn away. So, turn away. Do you agree or disagree with what I just said? If you do, you'd be turning away other people, right? That maybe are haters, maybe that are jealous of you, You have to turn away, but always say what you need to say. So turn away. I turn away from evil. I turn away from negativity. I say, shoo, fly, go away. Okay. Turn away from or turn your back on a situation that isn't serving your highest good. Turning away can be an empowering thing to do. This mermaid is showing you that turning away is the correct course of action, even if this is only a temporary measure. It can be a challenging action to take, as you may feel defeated on an egotistical level, yet in your wisdom you know deep down it's the right thing to do. So hold your head up high and accept that you've done all that you can do. Turn or swim away with your self-esteem intact. Turning away can be a loving gesture when you know the people or situation you're turning away from will flourish without your input or physical presence. You can still send healing thoughts to the people or situation so that you'll feel better about changing course, and you'll still be helping by sending blessings from a distance. Sometimes we need to turn away from a situation to gain a better perspective on things. Don't feel that you have to endure your present circumstances if they don't feel right for you. Perhaps you're finding something unacceptable, in which case it's important to honor your own feelings. Have you already turned away from a situation but are tempted to get involved again? If this resonates with you, think long and carefully before backtracking. Try to recall the reason you turned away in the first place. Time has a habit of blurring our memories, so take off those rose-tinted glasses before making any major decisions in relations to this. Okay? Turning away. It's like turning away so that things don't escalate. Turning away for your self-preservation. Turning away because you don't see eye to eye and things aren't working out. Turn away because if you are a child of God, you cannot mix with the things of hate, right? Can't get into a big argument about what religion's right. It's like, why even bring that up? My grandmother, she was a beautiful, loving person in every way. And the only thing that anyone can say bad about her is she said her church was the only way. In her eyes, she was telling the truth. In her eyes, that's what she believed. She wanted to see her family go to church, go to her church. It's kind of hard when you don't speak Spanish and that's what they speak. So you can still get the feeling there, but you don't really even know what's going on other than the Holy Spirit's around. You know, Pentecostals are considered like the what do you call them? They're the rollers. What do you call them? I don't know what you call them, but they believe in the Holy Ghost, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I went to that church and I loved going to that church, and I realized that yes, my grandmother was telling the truth. Her church was the only way to heaven in her eyes. What I realized really is wherever my grandmother was, God was there. So when she went to that church, God was there. When she was at home, God was there. Wherever my grandmother was, God was there. What a great memory, right? Divine feather. This is the feather, and this is the grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. So, you know, everybody has their own dance style. Everybody has their own way that they move their body. Okay, and it releases held on energy, you know, like from being cooped up for one reason or another. Maybe you have a 9-to-5 job where you sit at a desk, and very often do you have to go to use the fax machine somewhere, or go over here to deliver, I don't know, an order that needs to be inputted, or, you know, most of the time you're just at your desk answering a phone and you have all the paperwork required that you need right there in your little cubicle. You know, you can exert some energy by doing your data entry, by writing your labels, by looking stuff up on the computer, but after that, you still have a lot of energy to burn off. So if you got off work and you were able to go to the park and, you know, play basketball for an hour, or, you know, that's a type of movement, right? But if not, you go home and you got some things to clean up and you got dinner to make. Why not make it fun and put some music on and dance while you're doing that, you know? Makes the time go by faster. Okay, grouse. Grouse is a large game bird that is closely linked to sacred dance and higher mind states. This feather messenger is a powerful symbol of the sacred spiral and the path inward. The Sufis use this form of whirling movement as a way to connect to higher levels of consciousness and higher guidance. Sacred dance has been a part of every society throughout the world. The dances very often represent the union of the divine masculine and feminine. This feather can signify our own need to integrate and balance masculine and feminine energies. So, just to reiterate about the masculine and feminine energies, we all have both within us. Even though I'm born a woman, there'll be times when I have to put on, like, I have to have the masculinity in me way more than the female, the feminine energy within me. So, it's like when I was living in Oahu, one of our workers, Neil, he lived like in the next building over from us, and I'd take the dog for a walk, and my family trait is the peely frown. Anyway, so when the sun hits our eyes, we look really mean and we look really mad, but in fact it's just the sun. Our eyes are very sensitive to the sun, so we like squint. And so I'd get home and then I'd see Neil. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw you walking down Kalakaua yesterday. Were you mad?" I was like, "No." I said, "Did I look mad?" He's like, "You looked really, really mad." He said, "I thought you got in a fight with Chris or something." I said, "No, it's probably just the sun in my eyes." And I told him, I said, "When I walk the streets, if I look like that, do you think anybody's going to mess with me?" He's like, "No way." So that's just an example. I mean, I wasn't even aware, but I know that my family is very sensitive to the sun regarding their eyes. But the other thing is, as well, is if you handle everything right and your husband doesn't handle anything, and I'm not saying women are not capable or they don't, okay, and that they do nothing because the husband does everything. But what I'm saying is, if a woman in a couple, if a woman's handling all of his business to ease his mind so he could relax, it's not really supposed to be that way. He's supposed to do his masculine side of the chores, of the responsibility in the relationship, and I'm supposed to do the feminine side. You know, I'm supposed to create a home that's free of stress. I'm supposed to be okay about running the shower water for him or setting his clothes out, you know, those kind of things. And we just have to play our different role and balance it out. But when I give too much, then he has less to do. So I end up wearing both hats. And, that's just as much my fault as it is his. And those are the things you kind of have to recognize in a relationship. So many times you hear one person say, I was just there. I was doing my thing, But together you have to get that happy medium and you have to balance it out. I'm going to be responsible for these things. Can you be responsible for those things? Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Then it's, you're setting the foundation, right? These are the things that make me feel good. Tell me the things that make you feel good. And bad as well. Okay, so let me finish this up. The message: growth spirals and whirls as the divine messenger of movement. Dance the sacred dance as an intention to reclaim and connect to your highest guidance. The dance can take the form of free flow movement, yoga, kirtan, or any other rhythmic practice that allows you to go into a meditative state. It is here in this sacred place of stillness surrounded by movement that we can connect more fully. A new flow of energy brought in by any inspired movement will support the process. The energies is movement, stillness, life cycle. The season is spring. The element is earth and air. The color is white, black, brown. The affirmation: I seek and open to the unique sacred spiral within me. So yeah, dance. Dance makes you feel good. You get exercise. And I'll tell you, if you have kids and they learn that, like, to dance, to create the atmosphere, right? And they'll learn to be free about showing their emotions, right? They're good emotions. They're bad emotions, like bad, maybe they're feeling bad about something. You probably want to do that in privacy, right? To make sure your child is secure in speaking to you and that sort of thing. But I grew up listening to music. I had to dust. I had to fold socks up and fold little washcloths up, pairing up socks and that sort of thing. We were always listening to music. So even as young as 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, I already had chores to do, just like everybody else in the family. Okay, native spirit. We have the spirit of air. Isn't that a beautiful picture? So sharing household chores is a great way, because then everybody feels like they put in a part of it, and now they have a clean house, right? And they learn to respect it a little bit more. But if you just allow your kid to do whatever and you keep cleaning up after them, then they're always going to expect that, right? So you have to start young and do it like in a fun way. Okay, spirit of air. Card meaning clarity and expansive perception of life is emerging. You're being advised to see life from a higher perspective. Clear out mental clutter. Breathe. All is well. Do not be concerned. The cobwebs are being cleared away. Communicate your truth. Take care of details. Pay attention and do not let things slip through the cracks. Take time to hear the truth of others. Spirit is whispering to you. Open your mind to see a situation in a new light. Your native spirit wants you to know the spirit of air represents the mental aspect of your life. It's the part that has the capacity to discern, analyze, organize, evaluate, and judge. Though seemingly subtle and unseen, air is composed of the most rarefied energy fields. And we are in constant communion with the vast universe through our breath. The spirit of air carries the energy of change and transformation, inspiration, aspiration, mental clarity, freedom, perception, communion, and communication. The element of air also allows you to see situations from a higher perspective. This card can indicate that it's time to do some major clutter cleaning and organization. The journey, one of the most direct and powerful ways to receive messages from Spirit, is through the air spirit. The Cherokee people and many other native tribes believe that the winds were messengers sent by the Creator, and they carried information from the sacred realms. When you go outdoors, notice the movement of air across your skin, whether it is the subtlest breeze or the powerful wind of a storm. Take a moment to stop and listen, get a sense of what message it might have for you. Okay, next we have your soul purpose. We have the comedian, Malachite. Affirmation: I have a great sense of humor and uplift others through levity. I am quite the character and enjoy being the center of attention. I love to tell jokes and make people laugh. Laughing's very healing. I talked to my daughter last week, and what were we talking about? Whatever, we were both cracking up like crazy. I knew that when we've been apart for like 8 years, we haven't spoken. But I told her, I always knew we would just take it from where we left off. The feelings never go away. When you really love someone, right? She's definitely a blessing in my life. Okay, entertainment. Comedian. What's going on here? Okay. Are you funny and relatable? Comedians understand human nature. We can relate with people who are comedians because they are making fun of our various mannerisms and habits. Comedians often express familiar routines, patterns, and occurrences in a way that allows us to laugh at the part of us that is exactly like that. Aligning with the vibration of the comedian and Malachite card, might be Malachite, I'm not sure. Malachite card can help you to observe yourself and your own repetitive patterns. Using laughter and levity, you can look at yourself from a lighter viewpoint and observe the human condition with more equanimity. Malachite, with its swirls and bullseye patterns, have long been a member of the Gemstone Guardian team to remind me to stop and observe myself from a wider perspective. I use Malachite, a heart chakra gem, as a reminder to see the repetitive patterns in my life and use them to improve myself and evolve as a person and as a practitioner. It brings to my mind that it's time to spiral into the center of my consciousness to recognize the truth within and stay centered in my heart. When the comedian and Malachite card comes to the surface, using the swirling patterns of Malachite to see the patterns of your life from different perspectives. When a repetitive pattern of yours is getting you down, use the comedian aspect of the situation to laugh at yourself in a loving, heart-centered way. To help you gain levity, look at the whirling configurations in the stone. When you contemplate and observe yourself, be your own comedian and let yourself lighten up. Recognize these patterns as learning experiences and treasure the lessons learned. Choose patterns of love, compassion, and kindness going forward. So, next we have animal messages and the turtle. So I'll tell you a quick story. When I was working at LD Cock Dentsply, the dental manufacturing company located in Milford, Delaware, anyways, I was working for the plant manager in productions, and his next guy in charge was retiring. I'm pretty sure his name was John Disco. That's right. Anyways, so John and his wife had one of the most beautiful houses there in Milford, Delaware. It was along this big pond, and their house was like, I don't know how to describe it. You know, back the houses that sat, single-family homes that were large back in the turn of the century, you know, the turn of 1900. Anyways, yeah, the house was there 100 years. So we had the gathering there, and they had their dining room was not really that wide. It was wide enough for a 4-inch wide table, and then have the chairs behind, you know, on each side, but it was really long. So you had this huge table in there with, you know, probably 15, 16 chairs. So we all had the seat, and his wife was like getting ready to bring the food out. And the secretary, I was sitting next to the secretary, her name's Katie, and then Wayne, who's the plant manager, was, I think, sitting on the other side of Katie. So I was talking to Katie. I was like, "What's that song?" It was like a Lion King song, and those songs, some of those songs are like real songs that are from the past that they put into that cartoon, right? And what's the one about sleeping tonight? I don't know. But anyways, I kept asking her what that song was. I said, "You know that song?" I'm trying to describe it to her, and I'm describing it just like I am right now. And then the wife says, she starts singing it. She's like, "Oh, do you mean that song?" I was like, "Yeah." So everybody at the table was singing all together. It was like a crazy moment, right? And you know, it's a memory. You know, it's someone's like retirement party. Like, isn't that a great way to add to the memory of his retirement? It was just great that all of us started singing it. We all knew what the song was, but nobody knew what the name was. But his wife could. She's the one that started singing the first, like, whatever, first couple sentences of the song. It was really a great time. It's all about memories. It's all about taking a situation, you know, yeah. We all miss John when we went to work the next day, and the next day after that, and the next day after that, but we had that memory to take with us. Okay, so the tortoise. When changes are made for the sake of changing itself, resist. Older than dinosaur, embodiment of ancient wisdom and living testament to the wonder of her form. Unchanging tortoise plods on through time. Like tortoise, resist change for novelty's sake. Be true to your way of living, your partner, and your creativity, lest you destroy something more wonderful than you yet know. Tortoise also counsels constructing a mental carapace to protect yourself from the unjustified criticisms of others. For as tortoise hatchlings emerge from their shells perfect, you too were born flawless. So you see, a lot of people, they just can't take you for who you are and what you are. So through life, you learn to put masks on. Oh, you know, maybe you're the kind of kid that just said random things, you know, and your mom was like, "Come on, David, do we really have to go there?" Or whatever, you know. My mom, of course, she loved me, you know, but I was always around the adults. So I heard all the stories, even though I didn't even know what the stories were really about. So out of nowhere, I would blurt out these things that my mom or my aunt said. And it's like, well, why are you mad at me? You were just talking to Auntie about that. You know, so after a while, I wasn't allowed to be around them when they talked. But they never said it was a secret, you know? And I don't even know if I could keep a secret back then, but whatever they said was what they said. So sometimes I just repeated things that they really didn't want repeated. And yeah, so I didn't really get in trouble. They just didn't want me to repeat some of the things, you know. Like one time my mom and aunt, we were going to, I think we were going to just go shopping somewhere in Santa Maria. And, well, as soon as you get into Santa Maria, when you make that first right-hand turn, that's Blosser. And about, a block and a half down, there used to be a place called the Squirrel Cage. Well, I think I must have been before kindergarten. Or maybe I had just got out of kindergarten, because when I went to kindergarten, it was half day. And I don't remember what time it was when we were going, but anyways, we go by the squirrel cage. Well, what does it look like from the outside? Looks like a building. They got a little picture of a squirrel in a cage. And then my aunt Felicia says to my mom, "Oh, did you see Rudy's car over there at the squirrel cage?" I sat up from the back. I said, "Squirrel cage? Like, what is that? I want to go." I thought it was a place that they kept squirrels in a cage. And, you know, like at Waller Park, they have the little machines that you could put a nickel or a quarter in, and then you turn the dial and it'll spit out some food, you know, and then you could feed the animals. So that's what I thought it was. I was like, "A squirrel cage, I want to go." And then Mom was just like, "Be quiet. Don't repeat that," you know. And then I found out later the squirrel cage was a stripper club. My dad was there like around lunchtime or whatever. You know, back then we don't, nowadays, everybody, not everybody, but I think for security it'd be the safest thing to like have your phone like tagged to where you can be found, you know, your spouse can find you. So, I mean, they didn't have that back then, but my mom's radar must have been right on, because she always knew somehow, she could always find out stuff that my dad was doing. And so call it intuition, call it the spiritual guidance in her heart, you know. But yeah, he's at the strip club. So you figure strip clubs usually open about 11. They don't really get hopping. I'm saying 11 at around lunchtime, right? The girls come in and they start getting ready just in case there's some lunchtime activity. And then it goes on all the way until the time the bar closes, which is like whatever, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, depending upon where you live. And my husband loved going to the strip clubs, and I hated that he did. I hated that, you know, he'd rather spend a Friday night and or a Saturday night. And I say and or because sometimes it was both. You know, going throwing his money at some girl. He's got a bathing suit on. You know, and when he could be taking me out somewhere. But see, I allowed him to place me second in his life. That was the problem. And I just didn't like that. And I actually took a job to try to teach him a lesson, but I was just I was like a bar girl, right? I just brought the drinks to the guys watching the girls dance. And I thought it would make him feel a certain way, but he didn't care, because then he got to do what he wanted. What did that say about how he really felt about me? You know, I did it for a short time. He just didn't care. Like most respectable guys would say, "My wife's not going to work in a place like that," and I'm not even going to entertain that, right? So I have a crazy way of choosing, so that's why I say this next one God's going to choose for me. If he doesn't have God in his heart 24/7, then, I mean, we all have good and bad within us. It's how we balance it out and how it is used. So, you know, just because you have God in your heart, you know, it doesn't mean that, you know, you can't rock it in the bedroom, right? Anyways, I just thought I'd put that out there because sometimes people think that, you know, I'm a God-fearing person, so, you know, it's missionary style only. I say whatever makes the couple happy, whatever makes the couple happy. I mean, some things guys want to do, I don't want to do, and I'm going to let them know. I don't do that. Maybe your last person did it, but not me, you know. It's a crazy world out there. The only way I get my peace is by being here with you guys, shuffling cards, reading cards, telling you about my life, hoping that it helps you in the future or helps you right this moment. Maybe my reading like totally resonates for you. And you're like, oh, okay. And the thing too is, you know, your mind, body, and soul, right? What your mind thinks. What your mind thinks. It becomes you, right? Mind, body, and soul. So if you think you are a total a-hole, right? You walk around and say, you know, I'm Marsha, I'm a total a-hole. Not only do I see myself like that, other people will see me like that. You know, and anything that's a-hole-ish will become part of my life because I'm telling you that I am. I'm not that, I'm just saying. So be careful how you speak upon yourself and know that when you hear a good reading, right? Maybe it doesn't all resonate for you at this moment, but honestly, your mind is a powerful thing. You are a child of God. If God can create this whole universe, then you can create your own life in the most magical way possible. So if I give you this reading and everything is perfect and everything's beautiful and everything's all full of love, claim it as yours and start bringing love into your life. First by loving yourself, first by healing yourself, first by forgiving yourself, by having patience with yourself, by understanding yourself. When you'll project that out to the world, and then when you least expect it, that woman or that man that energetically knows who you are. Because energy doesn't lie, right? People lie. So, energy doesn't lie. So if you take on those attributes and make them your own to better your life, who can knock you for that? So, you know, some things will happen really fast. Some things will take a little time to happen. It takes God sometimes, you know, working behind the scenes, trying to get this fated meeting to happen. When you already feel it, so why don't you meet that fated meeting halfway? You know, send it out to the universe. I'm going to Waller Park today. Dear God, can you please send the one that's right for me there where I can meet them? You know, you can pray in advance. Dear God, today's Saturday. Next weekend, I'm going to be at Waller Park at 1 o'clock. Can you please send the one that's for me? So if he or she doesn't show up, know that either you still need work, or they still need work, or both of you still need work. I actually did that when I was in Oahu. I said, I'm going to be at Sandy Park on this day, at this time. Are you going to show up? So energetically. But I physically go to the beach, right? I have got my blanket down, and I have my dog next to me, and I got like, I'm in a kind of shaded area, and you know, I'm waiting, but I'm not waiting. I'm just like enjoying the fresh Hawaiian air coming off the ocean, right? And the beach is kind of a ways away, and it's not too hot of a day, and I got a shady spot. So then I fall asleep. And my dog, you know, he's on a leash, so he stays right with me. Then I wake up, and I say, God, he's not here. How come he didn't come? He wasn't ready. Oh, there's the 3 Gabriel that just popped out. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Take time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Okay, so I'm going to put that back, but I read it to you, okay? 3, that's a good card. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. So sometimes God tells you don't expect anything, you know, in an outcome. But have faith that God's going to deliver. And God is always on time, right? All right, let me get these cards going. I think I shuffled them enough. I already did like my regular shuffle before, but just really trying to, you know, talk to you about things that might help you in the future. Okay. All right, here we go. What's at the bottom? The 7 of Raphael. Time to detox. Is someone still like caught up? Sometimes it's hard to quit things. I'm still in the process of quitting smoking. Okay, so let me just start turning cards. 2 of Ariel speaks of balance. It's important to have balance, working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making work fun. The time goes by faster. You know, as long as you're staying safe and, you know, if you're busy having fun and not paying attention, can you get hurt? Okay, so having fun at the right times, right? Next we have the Page of Michael. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. Page of Michael. He's truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. Next, the Wheel, Major Arcana. Archangel Jeremiel, new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. Okay, so I'm just going to read the Major Arcanas. If you want me to go back to reading everything, I will do it on occasion, okay? Just put it in the comments. And if you'd like for me to read any particular scriptures out of the Bible, just kind of put it out there for me, and I'll add it in. Okay, this is the number 10 card. Exciting changes are coming. The wheel spins with the power of life and turns to bring you prosperous new opportunities. If you've been finding it difficult to get your plans off the ground, that will change now. Sudden movement forward is likely. While the idea of change can sometimes be worrying to people, you must trust and know that the universe wants you to be happy. Unexpected events are meant to point you in a direction that will bring you a more joyful and fulfilling life. If you feel uncertain, ask Archangel Jeremiah to give you a clear understanding of where you're headed. Additional meanings: a fresh start, optimism for the future, ability to adapt. Archangel Jeremiah is the angel who can help us see our lives clearly so that we can make assessments about changing circumstances. His name means mercy of God, and he assists those wanting to review their past in a kind and forgiving way. Archangel Jeremiah has the ability to inspire great visions of the future. Call upon him to help when you're seeking inspiration on how to successfully make amazing changes in your life. Okay, next we have the 6th of Gabriel. Congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. Awards, scholarships, and promotions. And you see he has the angel. Must be Gabriel, not Gabriel, because all the angels are ladies. 6th of Gabriel. Okay, strength. We had the 10 card, now we have the 11. Strength, that's Archangel Ariel, number 11. Strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence, forgiveness. See how all those are important in your life, right? To have that, to hold it, to cherish it. If, see, strength and grace, you can learn that from readers, you can learn it from your experiences, you can learn it from people in your life who carry those characteristics in a really nice way. And some of it is just, it's like natural, right? It's like within your intellect. Your intellect is, it comes from your generations, right? So strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence, and forgiveness. So someone in your heritage, could be several people or whatever, in your ancestry carried these. If they carried them, and then when you get born, you actually carry those attributes, but you have to build up on them. You know, I guess from having no confidence to learning through time that you do have self-confidence. Kind of like that. You have great strength and compassion. The kindness and understanding that you give to others are a blessed gift. However, it's equally important to show gentleness towards yourself. You may see aspects within you that cause you worry or impatience, but every child is a child of God. It is by balancing all aspects of yourself with love and mercy that you learn to exhibit those same qualities to people around you. You are far stronger than you may believe. The situation you find yourself in requires a very soft and sensitive approach. Archangel Ariel can help you stay strong in the face of any challenge. Additional meanings: self-confidence, patience, self-control, forgiveness, inner strength, influence through kindness. Archangel Ariel is the angel known for protecting animals, the environment, and those who seek to safeguard our world. Her name means Lioness of God, and she can inspire great courage in the hearts of those who call upon her. Archangel Ariel is also known to be an angel of manifestation, the essentials of daily life. Call upon Ariel if you're feeling uncertain or experiencing a lack of confidence, and she will help you get in touch with your own inner strength. Okay. Next. Oh. We have 3 in a row, so let me see. We had 3 regulars. Yeah, 3 regulars. Now we got 3 major arcanas. Okay. Leap of Faith, Archangel Metatron. That's the 0. Archangel Metatron brings you this card to encourage you to take a leap of faith. You are fully empowered to follow a new path in life that is full of excitement and wonder. The opportunities for evolution and growth are truly unlimited. If you'll just have faith in yourself and believe in your dreams, you have only to take the first step to find yourself on the way to a happier new life. Your angels and guides will send helpful people to assist you as you go along. You are encouraged to be proactive in researching whatever information is required. Do not let a lack of experience or self-confidence hold you back. You are meant to have the joy you seek. Additional meanings: being self-assured and believing in yourself. Childlike innocence, unending curiosity, the joy of life, courage, following your heart. So, when you live in the childlike innocence, an unending curiosity, and you have a joy of life, and you have the courage to follow your heart, and being self-assured and believing in yourself, when you can just let go and do what makes your heart happy, that is when you can manifest. You know, you could, if you like riding a scooter, maybe back in the day your parents, you know, you were lucky enough to have your parents buy you a scooter, right? Anyway, so if you were to buy a scooter now and you're scooting down old lanes, right? And then you have all this memory reflection of how it was when you were a kid. And then you say, oh God, those are some of the best years of my life. How wonderful would it be if, and then you put something out to the universe. If I was able to win the lottery and buy all the kids in this town a new scooter, what would that look like for the community? You know, if it was something like that, right? You just put it out there, and then you just keep going and almost forget you even said it, and just enjoy your day, enjoy your life, start living your life that makes your heart, you know, heart happy, makes your heart sing, makes you feel revived. That is when you can manifest. Right now, Tombo's manifesting a walk. Yeah. In a minute. Okay. Archangel Metatron is a loving and protected guide to young and highly sensitive people. He can help you free yourself from situations that no longer serve you. Metatron can also give you the courage and confidence to make important changes in your life. Call upon this archangel when you wish to get in touch with the child that is within you, or to release old fears that are holding you back. Okay. Next we have 6 of Michael. Light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. Relocate or travel. You see, his boat is in the air. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, any high tides or anything. He's, you know, God's steering that boat, right? And what's that guy doing? I'm not sure. Maybe he decided to jump off. Next is Ace of Gabriel's, a new beginning. A gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. A chance to do something amazing. A sense of wonder. Okay. Next, the High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. Let's see. So we have 0 and now we have 2. The answers you seek are within you. They cannot be found through the intellect, but instead are a product of your deepest feelings. Emotional situations provide great insight right now. Intuition and psychic messages should be treated seriously and with great respect, as they can be relied upon with confidence. Your dreams at night may also hold keys to understanding what actions to take next. There may be an aspect of your situation that you're unaware of, but Archangel Haniel can provide you with enlightenment and answers you're searching for. This is not a time of action, but of reflection and meditation. Have faith that events will unfold perfectly and that you will know when to move forward. Remain patient and be at peace, knowing that your inner guidance will not fail you. Additional meanings: the power of the subconscious, the willingness to forgive, spiritual awakening, patience, the mystery of awe in the universe, keeping the confidence of others. Haniel is a beautiful and mystical archangel who can help you understand the mysteries of life. Her name means the grace of God, and such she is seen by many as having a goddess-like appearance. Haniel helps those who have embarked on an inner search for meaning and answers in their lives. She is a loving and wise spiritual guide who can assist you in developing your intuition and psychic abilities. I love that name, and I love what it means, and I love what that card stands for. Okay, Two of Raphael, we have the Lovers. Two hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful, kindred spirits. Don't give up on those you love. Okay. And I'm going to pull 3 more cards and then I'm going to end it because I want to get it downloaded and I want to be able, this is my second reading. So I want to be able to download and maybe do, I think yesterday I did 3 or 4. So if I stay on track, then I can do 3 or 4. Next we have the Sun. The Sun. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking. The number 19. Life is wonderful. Great things are headed your way, and your plans will succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Keep your thoughts and your words positive, and you will thrive. Believe in yourself and those around you during this magical time in your life. Archangel Uriel brings brilliant epiphanies to those who ask for his help, inspiring new ideas. Lead the way to abundance and happiness. Public recognition or rewards are also very possible during this time. Additional meanings. God bless you, Tambo. Additional meanings of this card: happiness, a trustworthy relationship, understanding oneself, personal satisfaction. Uriel is the archangel known for brilliant ideas that can come in gold flashes of light. He is also associated with emotional healing and understanding. Call upon Archangel Uriel whenever you're searching for a sunny disposition that brings with it success and exuberance. Okay. Next, we have the King of Ariel. Successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success. Using resources wisely. So that's one thing. If you're used to spending all your money, say you lived with your parents until you were 25, right? And all the money that you earned, you were just, you really weren't thinking about the future. You're thinking about all these new outfits that you wanted to buy, new sunglasses. Maybe you wanted to get a brand new car and you paid it off within the 5 years. Maybe you paid it off early since, you really didn't have that many responsibilities while you were living at your folks' house. To buy a brand new car, in these days, it's kind of two-sided. They say if you buy a car that's a year older, right, then it's marked down considerably, maybe $15,000. So you're basically getting a car that's a year older at a $15,000 discount. If you bought a new one, then it'd be like 45, right? And then so you'd either have to have higher payments to mix those two together to make it like equal out, right? You'd have to have higher payments for time-wise for the 45 versus the 30. But then if you're living with your folks and you focus on paying it off early, so you do double payments, that helps your credit. That helps you to have a new start. But then when you go you decide you're going to move out, then you have your rent, you have your electricity, your water, trash, sewage, your cable, your cell phone bill, the food, the gas, the car insurance, all these things you need to be able to cover. So if you've always been a little frivolous with your money, you got to turn that around. You got to start living within your means, yet still have the idea to save money for future endeavors, for future goals. For, a nest egg is a great thing to have anyways. So your plans are working out well. Use your resources wisely is what they say to do. Okay, then the last card is the Nine of Michael. Stop worrying. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release the feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. So you see, for the success, right? I want success. Let me find a card. It's like the difference between these two cards. The Sun says, life is wonderful, thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. So you see, he's got his horse, his unicorn. His unicorn has wings. He's got the sun like right over him. And then you got this guy in the room. I'm depressed. Things aren't happening fast enough. Is it ever going to happen? I'm going to spend the rest of my night worrying about what if this and what if that. Okay, when you hold on to it, that's what you see in your future. That's what you'll get in your future. If you hold on to this, hello, then that will be your future. Think positive. Always think positive. I tell people, when I see people, it's like, what's wrong with that guy? He always looks like sad, upset. Then I call him over to me. Hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing okay, thanks. Hey, turn that frown upside down. And all of a sudden, this person's chin lifts up. And, then he smiles. It's like, see, doesn't that feel better? It feels so much better just to smile. It feels so much better to not be down on yourself, If you're down on yourself and someone's done something to you, you have to release it so you can have your freedom to be happy. It's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be miserable. Choose one. I choose happiness. I could have nothing, but if I have everything I need, I'm going to be happy. Have I ever been without? I've been blessed. Okay, so if you haven't heard the story before we end it and do our time thingy, I'll tell you, when I lived in Hawaii, my second husband, I got him to go to Vegas. So I was just there by myself. I think I had a few things to sell. So, I always would call him up and I'd say, oh, I sold that for $300. And he'd say, oh, just hold on to it. You're going to need it. Okay, thank you. I did the right thing. I sold it for a certain price. I called him up, and what he opted to do with it was his business. If he would have said, hey, can you just get a money order and send me half, I would have done that. But he said, just hold on to it. You probably need it. Well, eventually, everything was gone, and I still had to stay on the island. And I really enjoyed staying on that island that extra year more than him. And it's not in comparison to him. It's just that, honestly, I never really wanted to leave the island. That was the place that I really felt home. I could walk anywhere. I could do whatever I wanted, kind of thing. I always felt safe. So, anyways, as the story goes, I opened up my wallet, and it's like, wow. I got $6 to last me until the 2nd. It's when I get my VA money. Right now I have everything, like I'm pretty sure I have everything I need, but what if I need something? How far is this $6 going to get me? And you know, within a couple hours, within the next day, my oldest brother would call me and say, "Do you need money?" And I'd say, "Yes, brother." I always thanked him in advance. I never asked him how much he's going to send me. I just waited for it to come in the mail. And he always took care of me. I mean, you know, people who help people, they get that in return. You know, I'm blessed that I was able to help other family members along the way. That, you know, my brother knew, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like blab it. It's like when my dad died, he left me a car that I wasn't going to drive from California to Delaware. I already had a car in Delaware, but he left me the car anyways. So I took it down to local Stowwassers who used to be on Broadway. I said, "Look, my dad died. I have a car at home. He left me this car. I'm not driving it. How much would you give it to? How much would you give me today for that car right now?" Guy looked at it. He said, "I'll give you $3,500 cash." I said, "I'll think about it." Going down Broadway, went right to my sister's house. She's a single parent, you know. She was at that time, and all of her kids are grown. But I said, "I'll just give it to you because I'm not driving it." And you know, Stillwater said they'd give me $3,500 for it. So I just gave it to her. And my brother, had I known my oldest brother wanted it, I would have just given it to him because he's helped everybody. So when I told him what happened, he's like, "Why didn't you offer me the car?" Like, I didn't think you needed it. I didn't think you'd care about it. So I couldn't take it back and say, "Oh, I'm going to give it to Robert instead." You know, hindsight, maybe I should have, you know, but sometimes when you give because I didn't really feel like driving it, and it made more sense to give it to her. You know, but, you know, people show their true colors. Do I regret giving it to her? No, I don't regret it. Did I learn from giving to her? I learned that regardless of what happened after I gave it to her, I'm still glad I gave it to her. Because that's what my mom would want me to do. If my mom was alive, I would have given it to her. But my mom would have wanted me to give it to a sibling that was having a hard time. Even my two brothers, I found out later my two brothers were like, my brother Randy had a motorcycle, and I'm not sure what my brother Mike had. Maybe he had a motorcycle too, but they were just like carrying around, you know, they were just like going all over, doing whatever. And maybe a couple times or a while they had to sleep in the parks, I'm not sure, but they were like free riders, or, you know, they probably would have just taken the car and sold it for money, and you know, maybe had a lot of partying going on for a little bit. But I don't regret giving it to my sister. It just, you know, some people really appreciate what you do for them. Some people really don't. And you don't really know until you give it. And it's not even, you know, it's by God's grace that I even had it to give. And you know, sometimes God will even teach you that way. Oh, here's a gift that'll help you change your life. What are you going to do with it? And it turns out, honestly, I probably should have just sold it and kept the money, because it didn't turn out to really help her along the way. Let's just put it that way, so it doesn't turn into a big gossip thing. Okay, so it's 8:29 a.m. This is my second reading for today. So, 8:29. Let's see what the Joanne has to say. Oh, 8:29. It actually bumped up to 8:30, but I'll just stay with 8:29. Angel number. Okay. Tombo, lay down, please. I'm getting ready to take you right now. Lay down. Stop. Go that way. Go that way. To get him settled. 829 is a combination of the energies and attributes to the number 8 and number 2 and the qualities of number 9. Number 8 relates to practicality, personal power and authority, dependability and self-reliance, manifesting positive abundance, discernment and decisiveness, a desire for peace and a love of humanity, world transformations, giving and receiving, and the universal spiritual law of cause and effect, karma. Number 2 is associated with balance, harmony, duality, peace, adaptability, service to others, diplomacy, receptivity, and love, charm, understanding others, mediation and cooperation, consideration, faith and trust, your life purpose, support and encouragement. Number 9 denotes endings and conclusions and relates to the universal spiritual law, a higher perspective and expansive viewpoint, strength of character, nonconformity, the concept of karma, leadership and leading life as a positive example for others, altruism, humanitarianism, and lightworking. Angel number 829 is a message from your angels to have faith and trust that you will always have enough in order to care for yourself and your loved ones. Know that you are able to confidently walk your divine life path and serve your soul mission with your wants and needs being met along the way. Do not allow fears of lack or loss hinder or stop you from fulfilling your divine duties. Trust that you will successfully manifest all that you will ever need. Angel number 829 can also indicate that some situations and circumstances may be coming to a close and end in your life so that new opportunities may arise for you to take advantage of your long-term benefit and for the betterment of others. It may be time to reconsider all of your options. Angel number 829 is a message that you will be totally supported and guided by the angels and the universal energies throughout your life. The examples you are setting by living your truths is encouraging and teaching others to follow your lead. Your angels encourage you to live your life with passion and purpose and keep up the great light work. Opportunities to blossom are all around you. Be open to signs leading you in the right direction. What a great way to end the reading, huh? I hope that, Spirit was giving you a message you were looking for, you were needing to hear. God bless you all. I'm sending you love, light, peace, joy, and happiness, and of course healing. I'm sending you all the energies of all the goods so you can have the best life that you could ever dream of, and that you are free to go and do what makes your heart sing. Okay? Without all of you out there, there's no reason for me to be here, so thank you for being my purpose. I really appreciate you. I'm sending you love. And don't forget to do those other things, the like, share, and stuff. Anyways, have a great day. Have a great evening, depending upon when you're viewing this posting. And we'll see you the next time, okay? Aloha.